Hello, and welcome back to the channel. As you can see here, the start of another Jersey Quest franchise mode, this time in NHL 21. This is another, like a decent amount of the ones recently happened, or like repeats of ones we've failed in the past. So if you remember, we did a New Jersey Devils franchise mode in NHL 21 with, go to edit lines here, with Travis Zajac as the Jersey Quest player from his 1,000th game in the funky COVID shortened 2021 season, where he was obviously was with the Devils, plays the 1,000th game, and then got traded to the Islanders for like a second of the two Eastern Conference Finals runs. So like I said, like I did the other time, I had to like reset the rosters back down to like one before the trade, and that's why he's Zajac still in the Devils here, as is Kyle Palmieri. So yeah, we're gonna. I probably keep this short and sweet because this is a repeat. So yeah, so Travis Zajac is the Jersey Quest player. The jersey is the Devils away jersey because the game he plays the 1,000th game in was an away game against the Capitals on February 21st, 2021, which originally was a Devils loss, so it was like 5-3 loss or something like that. But yeah, he was wearing the A that game, so that should be fun. Travis Zajac with the A on it on the front will be nice. But yeah, so Zajac was the fun. He obviously like retired at the end of the season, at the end of the 21 season after making it to the conference finals with the Islanders. So we're gonna kind of do the same strategy we have been doing for these ones recently, where it's like the players last season is we're going to basically try and go all in and trade our future and stuff for players that can help us basically win this season. And obviously last time we was in NHL 19, so it was a little easier because there were any coaches and stuff, but now we are back in kind of the NHL 2020s era where we have this coaching and line chemistry system and stuff. So we're gonna have to like go through all these guys and like figure out who actually fits on the line that they're supposed to play on. So like as you can see here, Travis Zajac does fit, so he should be a third line center, and he has a +2 rating on the third line here, so he'll stick around with this coach we have because it's not really possible to like hire a new head coach at the beginning of the first season, so we're gonna stick with this coach. So Zajac thankfully is a +2. So I'll have to go through all these players, see who like there's a plus on their line and all that, and then this will also kind of make the trading harder. I'm going to have to try and find people who actually fit, or at least a positive on their line. So I don't know. I think is this pre-X Factors? This might be pre. I think this is like pre-X Factors. So it's really just straight up line chemistry is like what we're looking at here. So there's no X Factors or anything like that. So it's really just straight up line chemistry. So it's getting a little bit harder because obviously the X Factors you kind of like game the system because like if they have like a bunch of X Factors, it kind of like negates their like line chemistry score, line fit score to a certain extent. So we will see how crazy the roster ends up looking. But yeah, so Travis Zajac is the Jersey Quest player. Let's kind of look at the defense quick though. Yeah, so us the Devils were not great that year and missed the playoffs. So we're gonna have to see if we can like through my magic attempt here try and turn this into a playoff roster and then a Stanley Cup winning roster before Zajac probably inevitably retires at the end of the season. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else to talk about in the intro here because we kind of hit on all the major points. So in a couple seconds, it'll be the 2021 season recap. So hopefully it is. Yeah, hopefully it's not too bad. And we can kind of continue our successful train here, but if not, it's what it is. But hopefully we keep the success rolling. Okay, so here we are at the end of the 2020-21 season. As you can see, this method continues to produce dividends as we have won the Stanley Cup here. In, as you probably tell, it's seven. I probably can't tell. I guess it's like this a 3-game snippet there, but it was in 7 games. Pretty exciting series. So how did we get here? I guess let's take a look at regular season. So as you can see on the left there, we finished with a 52, 24, and 6 record, which is amazing. And it was good enough for 110 points, which was first in the Metropolitan Division. If we go in here, and you see first in the Metro, and it was good enough for first in the entire NHL. So we did the double. We won the President's Trophy and the Stanley Cup. So pretty exciting stuff there. And you see goals for per game 3.74, goals against per game 3.11. So basically we kind of like outscored our problems essentially. It's like our defense wasn't the best, but our offense was just like pretty elite. So we were able to kind of outscore a lot of our problems. terms of player stats, we'll kind of use this opportunity here to go through, like, as I said, the method listed earlier. The method's kind of basically just trying to trade for a bunch of guys that'll fit the lineup and stuff. Essentially, with the coaching, it's like guys who fit the line chemistry and like are the appropriate role for that line, and not really caring about trading away draft picks or prospects because we're not going to need them because it's going to be a one-season thing. So as you can see, their leading scorer, it's one of the trades there. But yes, so Devils needed a lot of help because they had a lot of guys who were basically all third line-ish players, and like some of the players they did have for some of the higher stuff just didn't really fit. So we did a lot of trades. The first one here, Joe Pavelski, we traded him from the Dallas Stars. He was our first line right winger. First line center was Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who we got from the Oilers. And then first line left wing was Matthew Tkachuk, who we got from the Calgary Flames, so a pretty elite first line. Second line was Jack Hughes in the middle, so Nico Hischier didn't really fit in the scheme because both him and Jack Hughes were second line centers, and Jack Hughes had a way better line scheme fit than Hischier did, so I traded Hischier and some other stuff, I think, for Nugent-Hopkins. And then, so Jack Hughes anchored the second line with Oliver Bjorkstrand on the right, who we got from the Blue Jackets, and Kevin Fiala on the left, who we got from the Minnesota Wild. So a solid second line there. Defensemen, we didn't really do too much. We had our top four was pretty set, so we were able to kind of ditch some extra guys for bottom six defensemen third pair defensemen who fit better. But yes, we had the Subanator, PK Subban. Solid season for him. Damon Severson, solid season for him. Zacha was third line left wing because our third line center was, as I mentioned at the beginning, was going to be Travis Zajac, obviously, as the Jersey Quest player. Will Butcher, good season from him. There's Travis Zajac with 38 points. Did miss a couple games with an injury, but 38 points from him as a third line center in his age 36 season is pretty solid stuff, I would say. Plus as well, really nice stuff. And then our third line right winger was Joel Armia, who I got from the Montreal Canadiens. Then fourth line, Jansen Harkins, got him in a trade with Winnipeg. Yanni Kuokkanen was obviously still here, so he's our fourth line center. Ryan Murray was like a initial piece here as well. Then third pair right side was Matt Benning, Northeastern legend, who we got from Nashville. And then Marcus Pettersson was his D partner on the third pair, who we got from the Pittsburgh Penguins. And then last, of the starting players, is Tage Thompson, who we got from the Buffalo Sabres on the fourth line right wing. And then our kind of 13th forward, 7th defenseman here, played 21 games between them. And then in goal, we kept both Blackwood and Dell because they were a starter and a backup. So we kept them. As you can see there, the save percentage is not very good. So that's why we kind of outscored our problems because goaltending was not very good, but our offense is just pretty and as you can see, it wasn't even really we had one really good player who scored a lot of points because we only had two guys who were a point a game or better, but we just had a lot of scoring up and down the lineup. So we are kind of it was a scoring by committee thing, which I don't really mind TVH. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys with 20 goals, and then Joe Pavelski had 40, which is pretty good. But yeah, so scoring by committee was our policy during the regular season. So looking at the playoffs, let's go to the playoff tree. So I didn't have to back out there. I'm just an idiot. So let's go here. Yeah, so round one. Look at the right. So yeah, we got a matchup against the. Excuse me. We got a matchup against the Blue Jackets, who were the second wild card with 96 points. We won the first 3 games, 3-1, 5-2, and 6-1. Columbus then won the next 2, 3-1 and 5-4, and we closed it out in Game 6 with a 4-1 win on the road. Round 2 against the Flyers, who were third in the Metro with 99 points. They won Game 1 4-3. We won Game 2 5-3. They won Game 3 2-0, and we then won the next 3 6-5, 4-2, and 3-2. Which I think half those games were in overtime, so it was a pretty tight series, but we were able to advance to the conference finals against the Boston Bruins, who finished third in the Atlantic with 98 points. And it's kind of all 6-game series, but none of them kind of finished in terms of who won what games exactly the same. So Boston won Game 1 here 5-4. We then won the next 3 3-2, 2-1, and 5-1. Boston then won Game 5 4-1. We closed it out in Game 6 with a 3-2 win. And then Cup final against the Jets, who were second in the Central with 95 points. We won the first 3 games 4-1, 6-3, and 4-2. The Jets then won the next 2 in overtime 5-4 and 4-3. And then they forced a Game 7 with a 3-1 win in Winnipeg. And then Game 7 in New Jersey, we won 2-1 with an overtime winner. I feel like it was from Nugent Hopkins. I think it might be in the footage. I'm not sure, but I think it's from Nugent Hopkins scored the OT winner and won us the cup in Game 7. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff there. In terms of playoff stats, let's take a look. So our leading scorers were Jack Hughes and Oliver Bjorkstrand on the second line, 25 points apiece. And kind of good contributions from our first line, and then Travis Zajac and PK Subban as well. And then, as you go down here, Travis Zajac, 1 goal, 10 assists, 11 points, and a +2. So really solid playoffs from him as well, I would say. And then Nat Blackwood, kind of, after having a rough regular season, came out a little bit clutch in the playoffs with a .919 save percentage, 16 wins, but no shutouts. So they kind of were a very high offensive power team, which I kind of like. So that was very nice. So in terms of awards and stuff, I didn't actually do that. Yes, we can advance day here. Now that we have won the cup. And check out who won what awards. So yeah, we won the cup, the President's Trophy, and the Prince of Wales Trophy. And the Jets won the Clarence S. Campbell Bowl, of course, because that's who we played in the cup final. And individual awards, yes, so Tyler Seguin was tied with Jack Eichel, or the scoring lead with 106 points. I'm guessing he must have scored more goals, because that's what the tiebreaker is. For the Art Ross, the Hart went to Mark Scheifele of the Jets. Scheifele, who finished second in scoring with 105 points. Morris goes to John Carlson, not really a surprise there, I'd say, because he's a very offensive defenseman. Lady Byng went to Tyler Seguin. Again, I said he was leading scorer, so not really a surprise. Calder Trophy went to... That's funny. Alexis Lafreniere, which obviously definitely didn't happen there because he's been like pretty much a bust, but that's boo-hoo. I don't really care about that. Conn Smythe was Nugent Hopkins for whatever reason, even though I would have thought it would have been one of Hughes or Bjorkstrand because they were tied for 25 points, and Nugent Hopkins had 23, I think, but that's what it is. But you'll see also him getting the Conn Smythe in the footage, but which was weird about the footage, which is kind of annoying, is I intentionally, because I basically gutted a lot of the actual New Jersey Devils players that year, including the captain Nico Hischier. I only left Travis Zajac is the only player with an A because he had an A that year before he got traded to the Islanders. And you would think that the game would have had the code be if there isn't a person with a C, they would just be one of the people with the A would take the cup first. But it wasn't. It was Jansen Harkins for whatever reason. But yeah, that is kind of annoying, but it's what it is. The Vezina went to Philip Grubauer, which is interesting. But I guess he must have good stats because it was based on wins a lot. You would think Black would have been a bit up there, but save percentage was pretty bad. So yeah, Philip Grubauer. Jennings went to interesting, a trade. Looks like Korpisalo and Mike Smith for the Oilers. That's very interesting. Salo and Mike Smith for the Oilers. The Master went to Waugh here of the Kings, which is just really basically the game because it took a random defenseman because that's an award you can't do much about in the game. Ottawa, coached from the Jack Adams, they finished second in the Atlantic with 98 points, so I guess that's probably why. Selke went to this guy here. And then the Lindsay, I'm going to guess Jack Eichel. Nope, Mark Scheifele. Okay. That's going to be mad unfortunate. I'm guessing Jack Eichel did score more goals than Tyler Seguin because he would have been Ross instead. So that basically means Jack Eichel had the same amount of points as Tyler Seguin and won 0 awards. Yeah, because it ended up being Ovechkin winning the Rocker Show, I guess, which isn't really a huge surprise. But yeah, so Jack Eichel finished 106 points and no that sucks, but not my concern, I suppose, because he wasn't on our team. So yeah, this was a fun one because I said it was a pretty dope team with like Kachuk, Ryan Nugent Hopkins, Pavelski. Like these lines are all pretty awesome and like realistic in the sense that like those are like players who would play on those like kind of lines like in this like period of time. And we kept like a decent amount. We kept how many guys did we keep? We kept 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We kept 10 guys from the original roster, which is a decent amount, I would say. So yes, this one was a lot of fun. So what's next on the channel, I think, is I think it might be Batman Arkham Origins, if I'm not mistaken. I think. So if it is, that should be a lot of fun. Because that was my first like Batman Arkham game was Origins, but I like sucked at it when I was a kid, and like ended up stopping and then playing like Arkham Knight and Arkham Asylum stuff first and beating that one first. But yeah, Arkham Origins, a lot of fun. Special holds special place in my heart, so it should be fun playing through that again for the channel here as well. But hopefully, if you enjoyed this, thank you, and hopefully you checked out the Batman Arkham Origins series as well. Thank you.
In overtime, he's won the Stanley Cup! Never does sudden death feel more sudden than this. The Stanley Cup will be presented in moments. You know, in a moment like this, Ray, you've been around this game for decades. Who comes to mind when you look at all the guys jumping out on the ice celebrating right now? Who do you think of in these moments?
Well, for me, it was Bobby Orr and his famous picture flying through the air against the St. Louis Blues. That's the one that always comes to mind, the most iconic photo, I believe, in the Stanley Cup Finals in the history of the game.
You can sense that anticipation to hoist the cup, but a pretty respectful moment here, Razor.
The fact of the matter is everybody has lost way more than they've won. And so even though you're on the winning side, you know what everybody else is feeling.
There he is, the best player of the postseason. What a run, and there's your Conn Smythe winner.
You go up, you get congratulations, you get the trophy, but you really want to be back with your teammates as quick as you can.
He's coming to collect the Stanley Cup. I can't even imagine how hard his heart is beating right now.
It must be an amazing feeling. Every time I see them hoist the cup year after year, I feel a little pang of jealousy that I never got to do it. Look at this. What a great celebration.
Oh, they get to take the tour with the championship. I can't even imagine what that feeling must be like.
What an amazing accomplishment to win. And it must be such relief to get your hands on the trophy to realize this is it. This is what I played for.
And as they gather for the team photo, there are your Stanley Cup champions.
This is the emotional picture, the one with the cup for the first time. The polished one will be in a couple of days when everybody's shaved their beards and combed